I took a trip to the House of Gucci today. Yeah, I saw the new movie starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Jared Leto, Al Pacino, Salma Hayek, Jeremy Irons. I'm forgetting someone. You're going to tell me who I just forgot. It's funny, reading Tom Ford's criticism of the movie this weekend made me want to see it more. That's odd. Is that weird? I don't know. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that the movie wasn't more campy, more over the top. That's the thing I kept hearing. And yeah, Tom Ford's assessment where he says, it feels like I survived a hurricane. I didn't really get that sense. It wasn't some like fantastical thing to me. It was a pretty serious drama. Obviously, the accents are thick and the hair and the costumes are over the top a bit, but it was set in the 80s, so that's what the 80s fashion was. So yeah, I don't really get the sense of the campiness and over the top that people are talking about. It's too long. Yeah, 2 hours and 37 minutes. I knew how long it was going in, so watching it, I kept editing the movie in my head. There'd be a scene I thought, oh, I would have cut that scene, or oh, would have made this scene shorter. So yeah, it could have been a much shorter movie. And I think the biggest thing that Tom Ford really nails on the head is the supporting roles seem to be expanded in order to get big actors in them. Like Jeremy Irons playing his dad, or even Al Pacino and Jared Leto. You didn't need those characters to have that much screen time. This story is really about the marriage between Adam Driver and Lady Gaga. Like that's what this movie is about. That's what the story is about. So you didn't need as much screen time for all these other characters. It's unnecessary. And yeah, Tom Ford seems to think it's because they expanded the roles so they could get these great actors in the roles. Maybe that's the case. But yeah, they were frivolous. I didn't need all the screen time that they had. So yeah, it really comes down to Adam Driver and Lady Gaga. And the funny thing is, you have 2 hours and 40 minutes of this movie. The two big character developments that you need to buy are not sold at all. So the big one I thought was that Patrizia Gucci becoming this mastermind in business and knowing how to change the Gucci brand, that just seemed to come out of nowhere for me. The early scenes of her character, a lot of sexual favors she's giving to her, boyfriend or going on dates with Gucci. There's like 3 or 4 scenes where she's performing sexual acts, which I found odd. Like, why aren't you using that screen time to start to show me how brilliant she is in business? Like, I never got that sense. And all of a sudden, she's making all these business decisions and manipulating her husband and everything. It just seemed to come out of nowhere for me. So that was the big character development, that you had 2 hours and 40 minutes to establish that, and you didn't. So I thought that was odd, and that's not a fault of Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is amazing in this movie. I could see her getting an Oscar nomination for this. She's incredible. You can't take her eyes off her. She's absolutely electric in this role. And then the other thing I didn't really thought was well communicated was Gucci, Adam Driver, falling out of interest in his marriage. That just seemed to come out of nowhere to me. It just seemed, all of a sudden he's over being married to Patrizia. So yeah, that wasn't well established for me either. So yeah, the two big kind of motivating things in this movie that really kind of set things in motion, I didn't think they were well established. And Ridley Scott had 2 hours and 40 minutes to establish those things, and he didn't. Instead, he spends time like giving Jared Leto all these weird scenes and Al Pacino. I know people are saying they laughed out loud at this movie. I only laughed out loud once, and that was when Al Pacino's character, I don't want to give it away, so what can I say? Al Pacino's character finds out that Jared Leto's character has made a decision in terms of the company. Is that he gives him a letter, and Al Pacino learns that Jared Leto has given up something in the company, and Al Pacino goes off. I laughed out loud because his reaction was just so over the top. Yeah, so I was kind of disappointed. I wanted it to be more campy and over the top, because then maybe I would have been more entertained. I just found this movie a little bit blah. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Didn't need to be that long. So I'm actually going to give House of Gucci a C+. With that being said, Lady Gaga is fantastic in it. Adam Driver is solid in it. I didn't hate any of the performances. Yeah, Jared Leto is completely over the top. But yeah, all the performances are solid. It's just what it was supposed to be as a movie, I just don't think worked. So C+ for House of Gucci. What did you think of the movie?